So we've been talking about a community outreach position now for years. We first kind of introduced council to this idea of what we might need to make some impact on unsheltered homelessness back in 2017 when we first started an unsheltered homeless initiative with them. It was a big request of all of our jurisdictions to pay in to ending homelessness, and we took off a small piece of that. So we've been getting about $40,000 from four of the 5 jurisdictions for the last couple of years. And then about 2 years ago, they said, we want to do something else. Their money right now goes towards housing, and it only houses about 6 people a year. But they wanted to do something to support businesses in downtown, especially during the summer months where you have lots of tourism and people coming downtown. Our cold weather shelter is not open, and what we could do that. So we really rallied around this idea of a community outreach worker, someone who could go out, meet with people, build rapport, and connect them to services that are in our community. So that started at the city. It then went to the George Washington Regional Commission's Council to try to help make it a regional effort. So you heard a little bit about that last night at council. And then it kept going back to, it's not time for the other 4 yet, but the city was ready to move forward. So we have engaged the Rappahannock Area Community Services Board, who I think is a wonderful partner for this, giving their expertise in mental health services, substance use, and just being a really key partner in the continuum of care for as long as they have been. So they will be hiring someone in the next couple of months, I guess. That person, I believe the idea is to have them have flexible schedules, so it won't be your regular 9-to-5 job, because homelessness isn't 9 to 5.
Right.
So being able to be someone on the street that people can connect to, that law enforcement could call for assistance to say, you know, we're really seeing this person, could you make sure that they're on your radar, for businesses to call when there might be an issue, really building that community sense around having a contact, being able to build rapport and connect them to services. I think one of the hardest things about this position is it will probably not end homelessness. It may not even make a visible impact at first, but it's about having extra hands that we don't have right now. I think having them and me being able to kind of check this off for now means I focus my effort on getting more funding for shelter and more funding for housing to actually move them to. Our system is currently at capacity for shelter. And so this outreach worker will be working to move them directly into housing and helping them get connected to other community resources, though maybe not moving them directly from their spot right away. I mean, this is not to negate the fact that our system has been working really hard with these folks for a number of years. Micah Ministries have been running the day center or hospitality center over on Princess Anne Street for years. It has been a place for people to come get their mail, get a shower, get connected to case management, but it's never been able to have the full capacity of actually going out on the street, right? Like they've done that on the side when there've been requests, they've done that when they needed to, but they really use that hospitality center. So if someone's not coming into that building, sometimes it's really difficult for us to connect with them. And I think we also have our homeless helpline that's still 24 hours right now. But if you don't have a phone, you don't have a way to connect.
Yeah.
So we're really just trying to offer more ways for people to connect to the services, even though limited at this time, connect to the services and hopefully deter people from calling law enforcement. There is another avenue that you could use, a compassionate avenue that will really direct the root cause of homelessness, which is moving them back into permanent housing, not trying to arrest them or ticket them or charge them with something, which would really only make their journey to housing even more difficult, as many of ours are doing background checks and things like that in order to even get into an apartment. So how do we help deter folks from even having that interaction, but having a more housing-focused approach to how we interact with folks?
Well, quite a step by City Council of saying enough waiting. You know, we're going to jump in and do it. And you know, like you say, when the time is right, maybe the others do.
Yeah, and I think we applaud the city for taking a step that at this point no one has done thus far. I think they have always been really forward thinking in how can we sometimes be the pilot. You heard Tim Brody say that last night, is how can this be a pilot and hopefully grow bigger with the jurisdictions. When we started the unsheltered money, we only had $10,000 from the city, and then the next year Stafford bought in, and then the next year Carolina King George did, right? So sometimes it's a slow growth, but someone has to be the first one. Just like someone has to be the first one to do brain surgery, someone has to be the first one to do heart surgery. Sometimes someone has to kind of take the lead and say, I'll try it and I will see if it works and hopefully bring others in.